condolences are with those in the Collierville incident. It's a sad day. Obviously, it's one of those things our team will continue to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Today was not our best day. It was not our best effort, not our best execution in any phase. We're really disappointed. We have no chance to play game of football if we continue to suffer penalties like we did today, especially on offense. We gave up some on defense as well. And then, untimely turnovers absolutely killed us. We got to be able to stop the run a little bit better. Anytime a running back's able to run the ball over 40 times and be efficient doing so, it's going to be hard, and we've got to be more effective running the ball ourselves. That was told our guys in the locker room they should be mad, they should be upset, they should be pissed, they should be sad. All those feelings, they're validated. But the only thing we can do is look in the mirror, and it starts with me, and how can we improve? And all we know is to go back to work. And I guys understand that we got a big conference game coming up. Credit to UTSA, they're a hell of a ball team. They bought it day in and day out, and down in, down out, and gave us all we could handle. Unfortunate, but if I know anything about this team, like I told them, one game will not define us. One game will not define me. One game will not define each individual or our team. We've all got a lot of work to do, and I think catch your breath tonight and then go back to work tomorrow.
Evan, and then Frank.
Ryan, I guess what was more just troubling for you in terms of things? Was it the fact that you guys couldn't stop the run after not being able to struggling with the pass the last 2 weeks? Or was it those 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter, as you mentioned, that just were momentum killers?
Yeah, 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter, Evan, absolutely were. Just can't do it. You give yourself no chance. You put the defense back out on the field. Who knows what could have happened with them. And then, like I talked about, just some untimely penalties, right? We can't play behind the sticks. We're not where we need to be as an offense to be able to do that. But obviously, like I said, it just as frustrating not be able to stop the run like we needed to down and down out, and credit goes to them.
And on that note, you guys had trouble establishing the run a little bit against UTSA. Seth did have a lot of passing yards, but is this kind of a case where you guys wanted to try to establish the run even though they couldn't? You guys couldn't break through a little bit more? Yeah,
look, I always want to establish a run. That's what, like we said, we always want to hang our hat on. But Evan, there's a reason they're 10th in the country in defense, and then I've done a fantastic job stopping the run by every team they played, and they did that again today. The defense they play predicate is to stop the run, and they did that, and we didn't do a good enough job. And it's from me, it starts with me, but like I said, offensive line, running backs, tight end blocking, wide receiver blocking, all must improve.
Frank.
Hey, Ryan, after you guys got that defensive touchdown, you had back-to-back drives where you scored offensively. After that first quarter, what changed? What were some of the issues that caused you guys to not be able to have that same momentum you had in the first quarter?
Yeah, penalties, and then they out-executed us. As simple as that. Like I said, I think that second quarter was where some of our penalties started to come up, and we weren't playing clean football, and that's where we weren't able to sustain drives. They were able to start, they felt that, like they were able to establish their running game a little bit, and they were, and we weren't where we needed to be. And we know this, and if there's anybody knows, every game we play is a 4-quarter game.
And I know this loss hurts, but did you have that conversation with your team about, going into conference play in terms of the conference schedule? It's 0-0. There's still a lot to be played within the American Conference.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Frank, I mentioned it to him. I said, like I said earlier, one game is not going to define our season. We have all of our hopes, goals, and dreams still in front of us, and it's got to be one day at a time. It's such a long season, all that. So we know what's ahead of us. Look, we're going to hit the road. We're going to play our first morning game, our first time getting on a plane this season. We got to be ready. And look, we know that playing in that stadium hasn't been great to us, and we've got to find ourselves to play better on the road. But a lot to clean up, and it's going to start with us. So look, we know we got to focus on tempo here soon, but there's a lot we can clean up on our own.
Brian, and then Mark.
Hey, Coach, what's the health of the team? I think Austin Myers went out with injury. Do you have an update on him or anybody else that may have been dinged up during the game?
Yeah, no, I'll meet with our medical staff here later. I have not gotten any updates, but we had a few guys go down and out.
Mark.
Hey, Ryan, I'm curious with Seth and just the offense in general. You mentioned how good UTSA was at stopping the run. You obviously ran the ball more than you threw it today, partly because you led for a lot of the game. But I'm curious, where are you at in terms of, how much is too much for Seth as a true freshman to take on, throwing the ball with play calling? Where are you at in terms of that with him 4 games into his career?
Yeah, Mark, the one good thing about it is I feel really comfortable with him having an understanding of the offense, right? I think every game is going to be new learning experiences. I think that's what happens when you have an 18-year-old out there. And there's certain things that he comes back and says, man, I knew exactly what, but I don't think the one thing about him is, like I said, he's super intelligent, has great football IQ. So I ask him, right? I ask him every day, what do you want to take out, right? Because as coaches, we always want to continue to put stuff in, and we got to make sure that he's comfortable with everything. And man, that's the one thing about him is I know he can handle it all mentally. And again, right, we got to make sure that we're not putting too much on his plate that he can't go out there and execute. But I don't feel that way. We just didn't do our job from top down, and that's why I think what happened today.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas Pickens didn't dress today. Is that a long-term injury, short-term injury?
I believe it's a short-term injury, but I should have some more information this week.